Have you ever wondered what might be the most untouchable record in football history? Not the most World Cup titles. Not the most appearances. Not even the most goals scored across multiple tournaments. We're talking about the record for the most goals scored at a single FIFA World Cup. A record that has stood for nearly 70 years. A record that some of the greatest footballers in history have tried and failed to break. And a record that many experts believe may never be surpassed. This is the story of Just Fontaine's incredible 13-goal World Cup. In the summer of 1958, the FIFA World Cup was held in Sweden. Among the teams arriving at the tournament was France, led by a relatively unknown striker named Just Fontaine. At the time, nobody expected him to make history. In fact, Fontaine wasn't even supposed to be France's star attraction. But over the next 6 matches, he produced one of the most astonishing scoring performances football has ever seen. By the end of the tournament, he had scored 13 goals. 13. In just 6 games. To put that into perspective, many world-class strikers never score 13 World Cup goals in their entire careers. Fontaine did it in less than 3 weeks. He scored against Scotland. He scored twice against Yugoslavia. He scored a hat-trick against Paraguay. He scored twice against Northern Ireland. He even scored against Brazil in the semi-final. And then, in the third-place match against West Germany, he scored 4 more goals. When the tournament ended, his tally stood at 13 goals. No player before him had ever reached that number. And no player since has managed to equal it. But if Fontaine is number 1, who comes closest? Second place belongs to Hungarian striker Sándor Kocsis. At the 1954 World Cup, 4 years before Fontaine's achievement, Kocsis scored 11 goals in only 5 matches. His scoring rate was actually even higher than Fontaine's. Kocsis led Hungary's legendary Golden Team, one of the greatest national teams ever assembled. Hungary stormed through the tournament and reached the final. Many believed Kocsis would finish with the record forever. Then Fontaine arrived in Sweden and raised the bar even higher. To this day, Kocsis remains the only player to come within 2 goals of Fontaine's record. Third place belongs to one of Germany's greatest ever strikers, Gerd Müller. At the 1970 World Cup in Mexico, Müller scored 10 goals. 10 goals would be enough to comfortably win the Golden Boot in almost any tournament. But even that incredible total left him 3 goals short of Fontaine. Müller later added 4 more goals in the 1974 World Cup and finished his World Cup career with 14 goals overall. For many years, he was considered football's ultimate goal-scoring machine. Yet even he could not break the single tournament record. As football evolved, many believed modern stars would eventually surpass Fontaine. After all, players became fitter. Training improved. Sports science advanced. And some tournaments featured more matches than ever before. Yet somehow the record survived. One player who came surprisingly close was Eusébio. The Portuguese legend scored 9 goals at the 1966 World Cup. His performances carried Portugal all the way to 3rd place and earned him the Golden Boot. But 9 goals still left him 4 short of the magic number 13. Then came Ronaldo Nazário. For many football fans, Ronaldo was the most complete striker ever. At the 2002 World Cup, he scored 8 goals and led Brazil to the championship. It was one of the greatest World Cup campaigns of the modern era. Yet even Ronaldo, at his absolute peak, finished 5 goals behind Fontaine's record. In recent years, 2 names have generated enormous excitement among football fans: Lionel Messi and Kylian Mbappé. Messi finally won the World Cup in 2022 and scored 7 goals during Argentina's triumphant run. It was one of the greatest individual World Cup performances ever seen. But again, 7 goals were nowhere near 13. Meanwhile, Mbappé scored 8 goals at the same tournament, including a stunning hat-trick in the World Cup final against Argentina. At only 23 years old, many believed he was the player most likely to challenge Fontaine's record. Yet even Mbappé fell 5 goals short. So why has nobody broken the record? The answer lies in how football has changed. In Fontaine's era, matches were often far more open. Defensive systems were less sophisticated. Teams attacked relentlessly.
Today, elite national teams are incredibly organized.
Defenders are faster. Goalkeepers are better.
Tactical analysis is more advanced than ever.
Even scoring 8 goals in a modern World Cup is considered extraordinary. Reaching 13 would require a player to average more than a goal and a half per match throughout an entire tournament. That level of consistency is almost unimaginable at the highest level of international football. But could the record ever fall? There are a few candidates.
Kylian Mbappé is still in his prime and has already proven he can dominate a World Cup.
Erling Haaland is expected to make his first World Cup appearance in 2026 and possesses one of the most prolific scoring records in modern football. And somewhere out there, a future superstar may already be preparing for their chance at history. For now, however, the record remains untouched.
Just Fontaine, France,
1958.
13 goals.
6 matches. One of the most incredible achievements in sporting history. A record that has survived generations of football legends. And perhaps the most unbreakable World Cup record of them all. If you enjoyed this story, subscribe to Sports Records for more incredible achievements, unbelievable statistics, and the greatest records from sports and esports around the world.
Thanks for watching.